Good morning everyone. Students, I hope you have completed your average profit method and now we will start super profit method. Before starting this method, you should be clear with the meaning of super. Well, you must have listened certain name: Superman, supernatural powers, superstar, right? So wherever we add this word super, that means that is more than normal. Okay. You will find so many stars in the industry, but when we say superstar, that means this person is on the top level. Fine. Now in the context of profit, today we will talk what is super profit. Okay, before understanding the super profit, you should be clear with the normal profits. Okay, normal profits, when you invest your capital, we call it a capital employed, right? Suppose you have invested 10 lakh rupees in your business, and so many other businessmen, they have invested some amount in the business. So normally in the market, all these businessmen, they are earning 10%. And if I talk about you have invested 10 lakh rupees, right? So if you have invested 10 lakh rupees and I say कि normally everyone is getting 10%, right? So what is your return? Your return is 1 lakh. This return is called normal profit, because everyone is getting normally 10% on their return. On what? This is their capital employed. Okay, they are getting their return on the capital employed or capital invested by them, right? Now if I look at the real position, actually if I say I see your real profits or the average profit, so I found you are earning 1,50,000 rupees, right? So you were supposed to get, in the normal circumstances, 1 lakh rupees, but you are earning 1,50,000. So this is, you find something more than the normal. Okay, so your super profits are what? Your actual, or you can say average profit minus normal profits are your super profit. So here we can see कि 1,50,000 was your actual or average profit, minus normally you were supposed to receive 1 lakh. Okay, so this way this 50,000 is your super profit. All right students, now how to find out the goodwill from the super profits? The same thing, goodwill is equal to your super profits into number of years purchased. I say 3 years or the number of year in this case, so goodwill will be 50,000 into 3. This comes 1,50,000, right students? I hope you are clear what is super profit, right? Now another question arises, although this is very simple this way we have done, but now the question will arise how to calculate this capital employed. Most probably that will be given in the question. You will find they have given everywhere, but this is very important term, and later on in your third book you will find it while calculating the ratio analysis. Fine. So there we require this capital employed, how to be calculated. So you must understand here also, capital employed means investment of the capital in business. Please be attentive, it's very, very important. So this capital employed can be calculated from two aspects. Two approaches are there. One is your liability approach and another one is your assets approach, right? And you must be knowing that our assets and liabilities, this is your liability side and this is your asset side, and both are equal. Fine students. And what are the main headings? Here comes your share capital, here comes reserve, fine, and here comes non-current liabilities and current liabilities. Here comes your goodwill, fixed assets, current assets, and fictitious assets, right? These terms are important, otherwise you get so many other things, and you get your trade investment also. This is also a part of your assets, right? Now this is your liability approach and this is your assets approach. So you have to understand what comes in capital employed. Okay. So if I talk about the liability approach, so this tells your capitals plus your reserve, fine, minus goodwill and fictitious assets you have, right? And if you have the non-trade investment, that we reduce, otherwise we don't. So liability approach, if we take, so share capital plus reserves we take from here, right? This we have taken, and we reduce what? This goodwill, and we reduce this fictitious assets. Okay, these two things we reduce out of these two. And if it is non-trade investment, if trade investment is there, fine, that's a part of your fixed assets. Okay, and if it is non-trade investment, then we reduce. Non-trade investment is given, so this also we will reduce from this share capital and reserve, right? So this way we calculate capital employed from the liability approach. Okay, this is one approach. Second one is your assets. Suppose we don't have the complete information of the liability and assets information is given, right? Then how to calculate? Here the formula tells all assets means total assets minus goodwill minus non-trade investments minus fictitious assets means whatever we have already reduced from this place, so we have to reduce from here also. And outside liabilities, this also we exclude from this. So just have a look on this balance sheet. Assets approach we are following. So we take this total, say it is 3 lakh. So I'll take this 3 lakh minus goodwill, okay, because self-generated goodwill doesn't come, reason I'm telling you. And if it is a purchase goodwill, to purchase goodwill we have to write off within a few years, right? So it's not having any real value. So this was a sort of compensation which we have paid to another party to purchase the business, right? So it is intangible, so we have to remove this, especially goodwill we have to reduce, right? So total assets minus goodwill minus fictitious assets. I think you know what are the fictitious assets. If you don't know, you have forgotten, let me remind you, these are the deferred revenue expenditures like your advertisement expenditures. Okay, in fact these are the expenses, long-term expenses or losses kind of thing, which we have to write off within a few years. That's why we reduce this also. And non-trade investment. Okay, ट्रेड इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो इसी में रहेगा, नॉन ट्रेड इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो वो माइनस कर देंगे. अंडरस्टूड स्टूडेंट्स? असेट्स अप्रोच में टोटल असेट्स लेना है, गुडविल, फिक्टिशियस असेट्स एंड नॉन ट्रेड इन्वेस्टमेंट वी हैव टू रिड्यूस. ओके, एंड देन वी हैव टू रिड्यूस दिस करेंट लायबिलिटीज. ओके, यानी कि करेंट, दिस इज आउटसाइडर्स लायबिलिटी, this we have to reduce. Okay, so that way we calculate capital employed, right? I'm not writing the complete formula because this has been given in your book, so you can go through from there, right students? So it is this. One more important term is there, you must learn it. Now I'm just trying to make you understand. Trade investment and non-trade investment, two things are there. So what are these one? Trade investments are those one which is invested by your enterprise for the furtherance of own business. You invest it outside of your business. Okay, आप बाहर कहीं इन्वेस्ट करते हैं अपने बिजनेस को के ग्रोथ के लिए, ठीक है? And non-trade investments are those investments that are made to earn revenues. Of course, this is also invested somewhere outside, like आपने किसी दूसरी कंपनी के शेयर या डिवेंचर्स खरीद लिए हैं, बट ये सिर्फ रेवेन्यू जनरेट करने के लिए होता है. रिमेंबर, ओके, बी अटेंटिव. ये रेवेन्यू जनरेट करने के लिए कि आपकी थोड़ी सी एक्स्ट्रा इनकम हो जाती है, आप किसी कंपनी के शेयर या डिवेंचर खरीदते हैं तो, राइट, दैट्स नॉट अ ग्रोथ ऑफ योर बिजनेस. बट हेयर ट्रेड इन्वेस्टमेंट मीन्स आप कोई अपने बिजनेस को एक्सटेंड करने के लिए कुछ और बिजनेस से अटैच कोई चीज़ खरीदते हैं, ठीक है? सो दिस इज योर ट्रेड इन्वेस्टमेंट. ओके, आई होप इट इज़ क्लियर. This one is very important, students. If nothing is mentioned regarding trade investment or non-trade investment, so we take it as non-trade investment. Either this will be mentioned in the question, specifically they will give कि ये क्या चीज़ है, trade investment है या non-trade investment है. Otherwise हम उसको क्या मान लेंगे, they are taken as non-trade investment. हम उनको non-trade investment मानेंगे और goodwill के purpose से उसको minus करते हैं. Understood? You have to put your efforts, a little efforts. Give 5 minutes to understand this and then move further, right? So one example I'm taking here. Here it is telling, and they are teaching to calculate capital employed only. To calculate super profit is very, very easy. The example which I have taken, this is only the thing. Okay. So you have to understand how to calculate the capital employed. So we will be calculating from both the aspects. Okay. So here is the liability approach. So let's do it. What do we take in the liability approach? We take the capital, we take the reserves. Fine. So we have a capital of rupees 2 lakh and reserves are 90,000. Okay. Now we have taken these two. What other thing I have told you? We reduce goodwill and deferred revenue expenditure if you have. So 2,90,000 ho gaya, and goodwill is your 30,000 and deferred revenue is 10,000. Fine. So we have 2,90,000, right? Your capital plus reserve minus goodwill minus deferred revenue expenditure. How much is it given? It's 30,000 and 10,000, means 40,000 we have reduced. So this comes your 2,50,000. This is what? This is your what we have calculated, students, capital employed. Okay, from which side? Liability approach. Here you can see liability approach, 2,90,000, and they have reduced this capital and fictitious assets and goodwill. Okay, so this comes your capital employed, 2,50,000. Now let's solve it from the assets approach. Assets में क्या बताया था? Total of the assets. Take the total assets minus goodwill minus fictitious assets, like your deferred revenue expenditure is given here, right? So 30 minus 10, 40,000. So 3,90,000. It is 3,90,000 minus 40,000. So this comes 3,50,000. Okay. Now what another thing is available in this formula? We reduce outside liability, outsiders liability. Okay, here we have creditors and outstanding expenses. Two things are there in this outsiders liability, 90,000 and 10,000. So this is 1 lakh. Okay, so 1 lakh we reduce out of this, 3,50,000 minus 1 lakh. So this comes 2,50,000. This is your assets approach and that was your liability. Either of the approach you can take, but your capital employed will be the same from both the approaches, right, students? This was your liability approach, this was your assets approach, and you will find the same one. Fine. So they have calculated and they have shown. Now it's clear, you can do that. Next example is also like that, only the difference is they have taken investment over here. Okay, here the investment was there, students, but this was trade investment. So we have included in the assets, we didn't reduce it, right? As I have explained, if nothing is given, we take it as non-trade investment and that will be reduced in the formula. You can see here non-trade investment. ठीक है, समझ आ गया? कुछ नहीं दिया है question में, as this investment is given here in the assets. So nothing is given, no note is given, no further explanation is given. So this investment is treated as non-trade investment, and non-trade investment is reduced while calculating capital employed. Fine, that is only the difference. So you can see here, it is here, this is goodwill, they have reduced total assets minus fictitious assets में deferred revenue expenditure they have taken minus goodwill minus investment. Why? Because this is taken as non-trade, right? And these are the outsiders liability they have taken. They have calculated capital employed. Fine, students. Now let's take one example so you can understand the question very well. It's so simple. Illustration number 10. It's telling that firm earned net profits during the last 3 years. Okay. And these are 18,000, 20,000 and 22,000. 3 years profit is there. It's telling the total capital investment of the firm is 60,000. So they have solved your problem. They have already calculated the investment, capital investment. Sometime you will find that information is given and you have to do yourself. Now normal return on capital is 10%. Understood, students? Your investment is 60,000 and normally you are earning, your normal return on the capital is 10%. So 60,000 का 10% आप निकालते हैं तो that comes 6,000. Fine. And calculate value of goodwill on the basis of 3 years purchase. That's the same thing which we have learned. Number of year will be given and you will be multiplying with the super profit of the average super profit for the last 3 years. Average we have to find out first of all. Fine. So let me take it this way. This average we will be taking 18,000. Okay, look here only. 18,000 of the first year, 20,000 of the second year and 22,000 of the third year. So we have taken average profit of all these 3 years, right? It's a normal average. So we just add and divide by 3. So 20,000 is your average profit. Okay. Now it's telling capital investment. You have invested 60,000 and normal rate of return is 10%. Okay. So 60,000 is your capital and 10% is your return. So this comes 6,000. Fine. Now students, it's very clear that normal profits are 6,000. Normally on your capital investment you are earning 10% and it's 6,000. But actually जो आपके average profit है, average profit and actual profits are the same one, right? Here the actual profits are given and we have calculated the average profit from the actual profit, right? So average profits are calculated from the actual profits. So one and all is the same thing. Now I have 20,000 my average profit and 6,000 are the normal one. 6,000 normally होने थे, हो गए 20,000. Is that good or bad? It's very good. More than the normal profit. That means super profit. So how much super profits you are having? So formula is super profit is equal to average profit minus normal. Okay. So 20,000 was the average, normal 6. So 14,000 आपके क्या आ गए? Super profits आ गए. Okay. Now it's very easy to calculate goodwill. Goodwill is equal to what? Super profit into number of years purchase. 14,000 into 3, that's 42,000. All right, students. So that way you have to do these questions. And the next question is also easy. If you find some abnormality, as we have discussed in the previous question, some abnormal effects are given there. So you will remove the abnormality. You just convert into the normal profit and then calculate. Okay. So you can do till illustration number 15. 16 also you can try, but I'll just solve this. Capital employed you have to find out. Just try yourself. If you can do, then complete all the illustrations of the super profit and some back questions. Thank you, students. Rest of the thing I'll be taking in the next video.